What's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today I'm down at Keffer Kia and we're going to take a look at this 2022 Kia Stinger GT line. So huge shout out to them for providing this sporty sedan for me today. Make sure you guys check out their website. That link is down in the description below. But the GT line that you see behind me is finished off in ceramic silver and it has an MSRP right around $36,000. But we're going to start off today's review with what powers the GT line. Up underneath the hood, you'll find the 2.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine paired to the 8-speed automatic transmission. This pumps out 300 horsepower, around 5,800 RPM, and 311 pound-feet of torque as low as 1,600 RPM. This model is rear-wheel drive, however all-wheel drive is available. It weighs in right around 3,800 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in 5.2 seconds up to its top speed of 130 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 15.8 gallons, and you can expect to see around 22 miles per gallon in the city and 32 out on the highway. This has a wheelbase of 114.4 inches. Its overall length is 190.2. It has a width of 73.6 and a height of 55.1 inches. As we work our way to the exterior now for this Kia Stinger, I'm going to start off with the headlight housing. So it has a really unique shape to it. You can also see that it protrudes from the bodywork on the undersection just to give it more of a unique look. This also has LED headlights, LED DRLs, and LED turn signals. And you'll notice that the high beams and the headlights have a quad beam design with the LED DRLs on the upper and lower section. And then there's 9 individual bulbs for the turn signal just to give it more of that unique look. And then as we work our way to this grille, you'll see the entire surround is finished off in black chrome. Along with parts in the mesh here, you can see there's plenty of cutouts to provide maximum cooling to this turbocharged engine. Along with this having a forward-facing sensor, which is nicely incorporated into the front grille. You'll also notice there's even more cutouts in the lower section and more of that black chrome. And then on both sides of the bumper, there's actually functional air inlets. So this will help channel airflow through the front bumper, around the front tires, and exit on the side trim piece, which I'll show later in this video. And then as we work our way up to the hood, you'll see there's really nice trim pieces on both sides. Great lines running down, flowing nicely with the curves on the outer sections here. And then to finish it up, we have the all-new Kia badge finished off in brushed aluminum. And as we work our way to the side profile now, for the GT line, you get a really nice set of 18-inch wheels. They have a two-tone finish along with a multi-spoke design, and they match really nicely against this exterior color. You'll also notice we have the power folding side mirrors. They're finished off in black chrome with the integrated turn signal. You can see some gloss black in the lower section. There's also more black chrome on that functional trim piece that I mentioned earlier. So there's actually a duct behind the front tire where airflow can exit this trim piece, which is a really nice design. You'll also notice there's really great lines that run off of that trim piece running right through the doors. Along with down on the lower side skirt, you'll also notice there's really nice trim surrounding the upper section of the windows, and it has a great sleek coupe-like design for the side. And last up for this GT line, you'll notice that this has LED taillights along with a connector bar that runs right through the middle just to tie it in nicely and give it more of a distinctive look. This does have a backup camera with all these sensors in the middle section of the bumper. And then down in the lower diffuser, you'll see that's finished off in gloss black. There's a few fins right in the middle to add to that aggressive look. And then on both sides, we have the quad exit dual exhaust. So before we take a look at the interior of the Stinger, if I lock the vehicle, this model does have remote start. So if I hold this button on the back side of the key fob, you can hear it automatically start up, and then you can shut it off if you need to by holding on that button. Now with the vehicle locked and the key in my pocket, as I approach the vehicle, you'll see the side mirrors will automatically fold out, and then all I have to do is push this black button on the back side to unlock it, and now we can move on to this door panel. So you'll see it's covered in leather with silver stitching. There's a really nice brushed aluminum trim piece running along the armrest, and it goes all the way up to the grab handle. You can see all of the window controls along with the side mirror adjustments. The release handle is up top, surrounded by a gloss black trim piece. This also has a 15-speaker audio sound system, and down in the lower section of the door, you'll see there's a good amount of storage space. And then as we work our way to the interior now, you can see the black leather seats with GT line up in the headrest, more of the silver stitching, really nice insert to them as well, along with the bolstering support. These seats are also heated, and then down on the side, you can see all of the automatic controls. And now once inside with my foot on the brake, it's time to start it up. And coming back to the gauge cluster, you'll see over on the left side is the tach and the engine temperature. On the right side is the miles per hour and the fuel gauge. And then right in the middle, there's an LCD screen that has a lot of information to go through. And you can go through all of that using these controls over on the right side of the steering wheel. So right now you can see miles per hour. If I scroll down, that will pull up the TPMS. And then we can also go over to a different page. You can look at all of your trip information along with your averages. If I push on the pages button again, that will show up the compass. You can look at your attention level, scroll up and look at your distance pacing. And then we're back to the last page there. So it's helpful to have all of that information right in front of you, along with the outside temperature, your distance till empty, and then of course what gear you're in. And then as we work our way to the steering wheel now, you'll see it's completely covered in black leather. It's solid on the top and the bottom and perforated on the sides. You can also see it has a flat bottom design to it along with the GT line badge. And then also over on the right side of the steering wheel, you can see all the cruise and adaptive cruise control settings along with the distance pacing. And then over on the left side is Bluetooth and voice commands along with volume and tuning for the radio. There's also a customizable button as well. So by pushing on that, you can see in the center screen here, it will pull up different items that you can set it for based on what you use the most, which is really helpful to see. As we work our way to the left side of the steering wheel, you can see the fuel cap release along with the lane keeping assist and a dimmer switch for the gauges. There's also one air vent. And then as we work our way back to this 10.3-inch screen, where if I push on this home dial here, you can pull up this screen where we can view the map. So I can pull that up in full screen. You can also see the weather over on the right side. And then by clicking on home again, we're back to here where you can look at phone, your phone projection, which is how you can pair your phone to this system. You can look at climate controls, valet mode. You have your radio and media. We can swipe over. You can look at your user manual. You can also go all the way over to the left side where it's a little bit less busy. If you don't want to view all of those icons, you can see a slight view of the map over on the right side, along with the time and the outside temperature. There's also physical buttons for that system down below, just below the 3 air vents, where you can see map and navigation along with that favorites button. You have radio, media, and setup over on the right side. So it's really nice whether you want to use the system up top or those controls down below, where you'll also notice there's power and volume for the radio and then tuning over on the right side. And then just below that, there's also physical buttons for all the climate controls. So we have temperature for driver and passenger, along with fan speed, where you'd like the air to go, some other defrosters and recirc buttons. So that's helpful as well if you're not on the climates in that upper screen. And then just below that, you'll see a 12 volt along with a USB. This also has a wireless charging pad over on the right side. And then just by pushing on this, we can close that up, where you'll see it's finished off in piano black to tie in nicely with everything else here. Over on the right side, you will see there are 2 cup holders. And then as we work our way to the shifter now, if I just push the release on the left side, we can put this into reverse, where you'll see the backup camera along with the sensors over on the right side. Definitely great graphics to see what's behind you, of course. And then you can shift by using the shifter here or the steering wheel mounted paddle shifters, which are finished off in brushed aluminum to give it a great look. And then working your way behind that, you'll see the electronic parking brake along with the auto hold and traction control. And then right in the middle, we have the different driving modes. So this has smart, eco, comfort, sport, and custom. So depending on how you'd like to drive the vehicle, you can go through those different modes. You'll also notice too, just behind that, we have the heated seat controls with 3 different settings for driver and passenger. There's the engine start stop feature as well. And then this also has a shortcut for the camera, so you can quickly pull that up if you need to. You'll also notice there's a little bit of storage space right in front of the center armrest, which is finished off in leather. And if I open this up, you'll see there's a good amount of room along with this removable tray if you need to take that out. So plenty of space along with all the room that you have in this glove box here. We'll go ahead and take one last look at these seats, which have a really nice design to them, as I already showed. And then up in the top here, you'll see the dome lights. Now that I'm in the back seats of the Kia Stinger, I'm gonna talk about the amount of room that I have. So at 5'10", I have the front seat set at my height, plenty of room for my feet and my legs, and around an inch or 2 above my head. So it is pretty spacious for full-size adults. I could have 2 other people next to me comfortably if I needed it. If you don't have anyone in the center, we do have this armrest along with 2 cup holders. There's also 2 air vents along with a USB and a 12 volt if you need to charge any electronics. You'll also notice there's some nets behind both front seats for extra storage space. And these back seats also have a 60-40 split. So with the hatchback design that this model has with the liftgate in the back, folding these back seats down provides you with a lot more of interior space. And last up, it's time to take a look at the rear storage space. So just by using the button up underneath, we can open up this rear hatch where you can see there's a lot of storage space even with the back seats up. It has a nice flat surface. There's a few tie-down hooks if you need to use them, along with some interior dome lights. And it also extends to the driver's side and the passenger side. So if you need to put in any larger items sideways in the back, you can. And then by folding the back seats down and even removing that upper cover if you need it, you can see there's a lot more interior storage if you need to use that space. So it's very versatile between having people in the back seats or loading this up with items. And then up top, there is one grab handle, making it very easy to close. All right, so getting the 2022 Kia Stinger GT line out on the road there. That was a small acceleration in sport mode there. And with the 4-cylinder, I don't see any problems with getting this version. I have been in the GT, which has the twin turbo V6. And with the 4-cylinder, we're up to speed just like that. So it's very impressive how you can get two different engines, but the 4-cylinder still packs a punch. It's going to get a little bit better fuel economy if that's something that's a concern for you. But aside from that, it's a great driving car. I had it in sport mode while doing that acceleration there. So if we use this dial down below, we can go back into comfort mode and we'll do that test again. So a small acceleration. The shifts are incredibly smooth. As soon as I hit that paddle, we are up into the next gear, getting all the way up into 8th gear there. You can feel there's a little bit more of a delay in comfort compared to sport mode. Of course, sport mode is going to give you a little bit better throttle response if you're looking for that extra pep in your step when you're taking this out on the road. But as far as driving it now, it's a very comfortable vehicle to drive. Suspension is incredibly nice. It's absorbing all of these bumps very well, and it's also very quiet. It's well insulated on the interior. From road noise, wind noise, the exhaust note is really not all that loud either, so it's definitely going to provide you with a comfortable ride if you're using this as a daily driver. And talking about the handling now for this being rear wheel drive, I have it in sport mode. We are coming around this left-hand turn, giving it a little bit of gas. Wow. It is incredibly planted and definitely has a lot of power to get out of that turn. So while you may not be taking this on some back twisty roads, you can if you wanted to. You can get all-wheel drive just to give you a little bit more grip up front. So we'll give it another acceleration here in normal mode. And we're up to speed. It definitely has a lot of power for the 4-cylinder engine, which I really like. But let's move on to visibility now. For a vehicle like this, it's actually really easy to see all around. Looking over my left shoulder is fine. Looking over my right shoulder, there is a little bit of a pillar there, but it's really not all that bad. The more you drive this vehicle, I've been in a few so far, it's easy to glance over that right side. You have your side mirror, of course. So visibility is not really an issue, and I love how it gives this car a great look from the exterior with that rear sloping glass. Gives it more of that coupe-like design for a sedan. So it gives it that sporty feel without sacrificing the visibility, which is great to see. And then on the interior here, this is basically one of the lower trim levels for the Stinger, but it has really nice materials. We have brushed aluminum on all of these controls, not a whole lot of buttons going on either, which makes it very easy to go through this information. And then we have the touchscreen system above that with a lot more info to go through. Really nice leather on the dash here and on the seats, piano black finishing the surround here, as you've already seen in today's video. It's even surrounding the door panels here. So for being on the lower trim level or the lower price point for the Stinger, it's a really nice interior. And I also like the fact too that this is a pretty versatile vehicle all around. You have plenty of room for your backseat passengers, as you've already seen in today's video, along with the amount of storage space that you have. So for a daily driver, this could be your only vehicle. It's very versatile, so it definitely provides you with a lot of options. And of course, you can spec this up to the higher trim levels like the GT, where that offers that larger engine. But again, with the 4-cylinder, not even half throttle, and we're up to speed just like that. So it's an awesome vehicle to drive, very sporty, a lot of performance, great interior materials. But I think that's gonna wrap it up for my walk around review and test drive, getting behind the wheel of this 2022 Kia Stinger GT line. Once again, huge shout out to Keffer Kia for providing this vehicle for me today. Make sure you guys check out their website. That link is down in the description below. And if you enjoyed today's video, give it a huge thumbs up. Consider smashing that subscribe button if you'd like to stay up to date on our daily uploads. And I'll see you in the next video.